Go.
No. Probably. No, it's good for you. Yes. Yeah, I'm not the one. I think it's pretty long.
Okay, good afternoon. I wanted to meet the states for the presenters.
They are not gonna be there. It's still accommodate.
They are not. Okay.
To accommodate.
Keep virtual. Yes, good afternoon, great scholars, please. I want to welcome you to another section of Lagos Law, precisely the third section. I'm actually sitting in for my chair, Professor Ademomo, and supposed to be having some presenters. Please, you're here. Can you indicate if you are for this session? Okay. Yes, please. Please. I think we also have some presenting virtual. Okay, we have one sitting presenter. Please, can you come and sit? Okay, we have one person is already on. Do I have any other person? Exactly. Okay, gradually they will join us. So I think it's best we start because it's already time. So we'll be starting with you. Raji, please, can you tell us your name, your paper, and the floor is yours. You have your slides. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Raji Toyi. My name is Toyi Badira Raji from University of Ibadan. And I'll be presenting on the paper titled Lagos Line, a social realist prism of Bayo Olukunda's Are You Not in Nigeria? However, some of us might be clueless. I'm talking about Lagos, and I choose the topic, which is Are You Not in Nigeria? The reason why this topic is being chosen is because when during my studies of reading the book, I saw the discussions that we carried on, also research exploration that we carried on in the first time. Actually brought out the sessions where Lagos life is being depicted. So it is mutually intelligible that Lagos is a commercial hub for Nigeria, and it's a state that has a lot of migrants coming in because of those in order to explore the financial opportunity or economical opportunity in Lagos State. But despite the fact that it is a city, it also still has its own prices because it is a city where affluence and poverty coexist, where opportunity abundant and challenges actually persist. But if you want to talk about social society, this is one of the reasons why literature is being defined as a mirror of life. But let's put this into the practice. A mirror can only reflect what it sees, but what is behind the mirror can never be seen. So, Bayo Olukomoda has tried in his own capacity to place himself as a mirror to reflect his own contemporary society by fetching out what he sees or what he perceives that are vices in his own society, which are eating deep in his own society. So, and when we go by the theme of our discussion, of our submission, there is an emphatic stress on the word Lagos now, wow, which does not imply that your paper should be narrowed down to the positive side of Lagos, but you can also point out some of the challenges which you perceive. And that is why, okay, before I go to that extent, I need to talk about who is Bayo Olukomoda. Bayo Olukomoda is a journalist. He's a journalist who documents, and we all know what a journalist does. They normally do events, they cover events, gather information, news, let me just put like news. And from this, his own exploration, moving from one place to another, he tries to document his own, what he perceives into society, and put them into a written text, which is seen in the picture shown above. For the purpose of these, okay, however, the statement of the second slide, please. The statement of the problem. The reason why this research is being carried out, it is from my own observation. It is numerous researches have been carried out on social realism, which is something you cannot argue against, and Lagos as a literary space by some scholars. So I highlighted some scholars who has worked on, such as Natasha Chandra, social realism and class struggles, Okondi, who will look at Achebe realist depiction of colonial modern Nigerians, Jeku as well. However, there are apparent paucities of researchable materials on this particular text. When it's checked online, people have not really explored on this particular text. However, I try to look at, okay, how as Bayo Olukomoda depicts or represents Lagos, represent Nigeria, and most especially Lagos in his literary work. So I wrote a note. I said, the exploration of Lagos life in the text title, Are You Not in Nigeria, is as a result of the author situating or drawing his exploration and documentation, mostly from what? From Lagos. Therefore, the parts that are peculiar to the topic of discourse are explored. So I tried to draw a line of, so that we won't have the kind of, so the objective of the paper, number one, to explore Lagos life through a social realist reading, to examine how Olukomoda depicts urban life and social contradictions, to highlight the use of satire, humor, and what? Realisms. So the methodology employed, the study adopts a qualitative research method, employing textual analysis to examine how Are You Not in Nigeria by Bayo Olukomoda portrays the life through the lens of what? Social reality. The text consists of 378 essays, which I regard as literary essays. But for this paper, the research has drawn its analysis from 5 of its literary essays, which are in line with the topic of the research or the paper. The selected essays, number 1, we have I Am a Woman Rapper. Are you not a Nigerian? Encounter with Lagos Court Ghana, with friends like Nigerian police who need enemies. Encounter with a BlackBerry pay. And the primary data consists of the text, while the secondary data are gathered from journals and every other. However, the theoretical framework that is employed for this research is known as what social realist theory. Social, when we look at the term social, we first of all need to look at the words that comes together and form the phrase. Social, from the word social, society. And realistic is from the word realism, reality. That is, it tries to depict the happenings. It's a theory that portrays or projects the happening in our immediate society. However, its own tenant is basically on what? Concentrating on marauding issues that are eating deep in our society, that are really affecting us, that we might not be able to okay, when we look at Marxists actually preach for a classless society. But now we all know that equality, when we talk about bourgeoisie and the proliferates, or the second class and all that. So when we look at it, this is a kind of theory that is being drawn out of Marxism by Terry Engelson, forgetting the name of, sorry, please, the scholar. Now, when we look at them, are you getting it now? The social realists, this movement concentrates on the welfare of the society. They fight for the right of common people. Now, the tenets of social realism, they look at racism, class struggle, immigration, cultural issues, humanism, economical condition that downthrown class, ethnic identity crisis, and social anxiety, which chiefly focuses on some social welfare and human issues, which from these tenets, we can actually understand what social realism is trying to reflect on. Without wasting much of our time, let's go into the findings and what we would actually see from the test. This is the test. Urban chaos and the struggles of daily life. Urbanization, firstly. What is the concept of urbanization? Urbanization is an idea of people moving from the rural to the urban area. And for the purpose of them moving is for them to look for better opportunity as a means of survival, and they will leave their. I think we had a discussion like that. So someone was asking, why is it that some people will leave their own society to go and look for better life outside and still come back to their own country? So it's Lagos too can also actually be associated or be placed on the fulcrum of a place where people migrate to in order to exploit and explore the benefits that are in Lagos. So from one of the essays in the text, I am a woman rapper. Olukonda vividly captures the chaotic natures of urban life, where residents navigate daily challenges ranging from traffic congestions and infrastructure to environmental hazards. Now, between you and me, from my own perspective now, social realist places you on a situation whereby you can actually relate to it. It's not something that you can actually say you are not aware of, or something you are not perceiving in your own society. Now, I draw an excerpt from the text, which says, earlier at BRT terminals, I had joined some passengers standing impatiently in Lagos waiting queue. There was no bus in sight. After more than an hour wait under blazing Lagos sun, a bus finally arrived. Inside, passengers crammed into every available space. This gives us what? A mental picture of how people struggle to find a means of transporting themselves to work. Are you getting that? And how we always struggle in order to find a place inside the bus. Okay, I'm getting late to work. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. So when we look at the board, the blazing Lagos sun, it's a kind of a symbolism that symbolizes the kind of the struggle that Lagos people are actually passing through. That's why I said, despite the fact that Lagos is an urban place, are you checking now? Despite the fact that Lagos is an urban place, we can see that there are still needs for the improvements in transportation. So the lack of, however, most of Lagosians we have now started being adapted, like we are adapting to that current situation. Because I can actually draw from my own experience to when I was working with First Bank as a promoter. I know the time I always wake up as early as possible, 4 a.m., so that I can catch up with the first bus. Once you get to Costain, maybe when you go late, you get into Costain, very close to Akpogum, you see a kind of a traffic congestion, and you see asking yourself, this is 7 a.m. These are kind of the chaotic conditions that the populace of Lagos are actually perceiving, or they are actually passing through. So I also look at economical hardship. When we're talking about economical hardship, we can actually look at it from different perspectives. Unemployment too can actually lead to economical hardship. But in the essay, Encounter with Lagos Port Gang, Olukounda vividly portrayed the settlement of Ilaje people. I don't know, maybe we all have an experience about Ilaje people. Don't look at the title, which says Encounter with Lagos Port Gang. Because under the title, he actually explicates or explains more than two things. It narrows it down to that port aspect too. So Olukounda vividly portrayed the settlement of the Ilaje people along the bank of Lagos Lagoon. He delves into their struggle, particularly their reliance on timber logging, and transportation across the lagoon as a means of livelihood in the wood trade. So in his text, I can't quote everything. In the text, he talks about the challenges these people faces, and he look at the ports, how gangs actually invade programs, wedding events, asking for settlement before you can actually proceed with your event. You have to settle them. All those stuff is as a result of what societal vices that are affecting us. I talked about corruption, we can see, and bureaucratic inefficiency. Policemen collecting bribe from the transporters, and we can actually see, which is something that is related, the issues of this LASMA, which they are just being stopped from arresting cars anyhow in Lagos. So we have the language and style. Okay, we have fake life. Let's fly here. Go to the language and style. These are some of the thematic preoccupations. Language and style. Next slide, sir. Language and style. Say language and styles. Are you not in Nigeria? The author employed a blend of satire, humor, realistic characterization, and engaged narrative techniques to highlight the socio-political and cultural challenges faced by Nigerians. Use of satire and humor to critique societal issues. Satire and humor are central to Olukounda's critique of Nigerian society, most especially Lagos. The author uses irony, exaggeration, and wit to expose corruption, inefficiency, and everyday struggle. Through humorous depiction, the selected essay makes serious topics more accessible, which was encouraging reflection. Realistic characters, the police, the use of the police, the use of politicians, market traders, and every other, the larger people. These are people that we can actually relate to. And I'll just talk about the narrative techniques. It is observed that the story is narrated from the point of view of an observant narrator. Because he's there, he observed. At some point, he also engaged himself in the events that actually take place. In conclusion, Are You Not in Nigeria offers a realistic, relatable portrait of Lagos life by highlighting how the intersection of poverty, bureaucracy, and urban disorder breeds both frustration and a remarkable adaptability among the questions. The recurring motive of the so-called question, "Are you not in Nigeria?" serve as a rhetoric, a reflection of societal expectation for citizens to endure adversity with stoic acceptance. Serve as both social commentary as a call to civic action. It also highlights literature's roles in shaping societal consciousness in urban Nigeria. That's
that wonderful presentation. Yes, I don't know. Please, in case you have suggestions or contributions or questions for him, just take note of them while we take the other presentation. Okay, please, Dr. Joyce, it's good to have you join us. Good evening. Okay, please, ma'am, can you unmute your mic?
Good afternoon, panelists.
Afternoon, Doctor.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, he's back.
Okay, she's back.
That's what he's back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just go ahead.
Good afternoon, Doc. Please
Okay,
go on with your presentation, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, panelists, distinguished panelists, and fellow confreres. I am Dr. Joyce Austin Onyekoro from the Department of Theatre and Film Studies, Federal University Otueke. My paper is titled, "Is Lagos a Center of Excellence? Daily Lives and Livelihood of Theatre Artists," as against what was captured in the program. And I wish to maintain my original title, "Is Lagos a Center of Excellence?" for obvious reasons. Now, this paper basically looks at Lagos, which is regarded as a center of excellence, and the lived realities of theater artists who are based in Lagos. The paper tries to find out how artists in Lagos have fared in a state that is categorized as center of excellence. Introduction. Lagos, we all know, is one of Nigeria's largest commercial and cultural hub, attracting various number of people from different cultures, diverse cultures, religion, political, and socio-economic interests. We have different people coming to live in Lagos because of what they feel they can benefit from residing in Lagos. And Lagos is known as a center of excellence. When you ascribe something as center of excellence, it means that thing symbolizes perfection, excellence in all ramifications. So excellence, we know, is a title that symbolizes perfection, vibrancy in technology, in education, in cultural diversity, sports, and creative dynamism. So you have all of it in one place, and that is Lagos. Lagos is also known as Eco City, going by its traditional name. And then we look at the location of Lagos in the western part of Nigeria, and it's predominantly Yoruba, and prides very rich Yoruba cultural heritage. According to UN Habitat, Lagos is one of Africa's most populous cities, with over 20 million residents. Lagos is also a beehive of cultural expressions. However, despite its status as creative epicenter, a critical question remains: does Lagos truly serve as a center of excellence for theater artists in their daily lives and livelihood? Now, we'll look at the main objective of this study is to evaluate Lagos status as a center of excellence in the lives and livelihood of theatre artists. While the other aims include to investigate the availability of opportunities, resources, and collaborations for theatre artists in Lagos, to identify challenges faced by theatre artists in Lagos, such as funding, infrastructure, and audience engagement. We also examine the impact of globalization on traditional performance arts and offer ways for improving the lives and livelihood of theatre artists in Lagos, enhancing their contributions to the city's cultural landscape. Now, we considered a conceptualization of Center of Excellence. The term Center of Excellence originated in the 1990s during the administration of Governor Michael Otedola, who ruled Lagos between 1992 and 1993. At that time, Lagos was facing significant economic and infrastructural challenges, including poverty, congestion, and inadequate public services. Then Lagos was a horrible place to live with until, in an effort to revitalize the state's economy and promote its development, Governor Michael Otedola launched the Lagos Center for Excellence, Center of Excellence initiative. And since then, Lagos has taken a transformative position in terms of business, commerce, innovation, leveraging its strategic location, human resources, and economic potential. So the concept was further developed and popularized by subsequent administrations. This study is anchored on Charles Landy's creative city theory. This theory argues that cities must harness creativity and cultural resources to drive economic development and urban transformation. Lagos, which serves as one of Nigeria's biggest commercial nerve center, however, embodies this theory based on its dynamic population, which comes with dynamic ingenuity, creativity, ready to be harnessed for optimum development of the city. Cultural industries, discovering talents and providing platform for expression, and technological advancement, which help to solidify its status as center of excellence. All these things put together is what it makes the Lagos State a center of excellence, and we base it on Charles Landy's creative city theory. Looking at a brief historical background of theater in Lagos, we say that the history of theater in Lagos evolved through various historical periods. We look at from pre-colonial indigenous performances of Hubert Ogunde's traveling theater to post-colonial institutionalized theater and the modern-day fusion of tradition and the digital forms. Theater in Lagos has remained a vital part of Nigeria's cultural heritage. So before colonial influence, theater in Lagos existed primarily in the form of indigenous performances, which were deeply intertwined with cultural and religious and social and political life. So Alarinjo Theatre was also another traditional mobile form of performance that combines storytelling, music, and masquerade. Now, what is government's role in supporting theatre in Lagos? We discovered that government has recognized the creative industry as a major contributor to the growth of the nation's economy and provided support through various means. They use this support. We have the financial interventions on the part of government, where New Nigerian Cinema highlights the government's implementation of several financial initiatives to support the creative sector, with notable implications for Lagos State. Government has really injected a lot of financial support to improve creativity or the creative industry in Lagos State. For instance, in 2006, there is this project, Nollywood, which was launched in collaboration with EcoBank, providing up to excuse me, 100 million, approximately 781,000 US dollars to Nigerian filmmakers to enhance film production quality in Nigeria. Recently, too, the Lagos State government established the Eco Innovation Center, which aims to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in the state. So the center has really organized several events, including Arts of Technology Lagos Conference, which brings together stakeholders that support the growth and of the creative industry. Then how has globalization impacted on theater or creative industry in Lagos State? We say that theater has adapted to challenging technological demands, really transformed performances, creativity these days. So compared to the traditional format. So while traditional stage performances remain relevant, modern theater has embraced digitization, commercialization, and cross-media collaborations. According to a theater scholar, Matthew Okereke, globalization has led to the homogenization of cultural expression, threatening the unique traditions and practices of Nigerian theater. This shift has become necessary if theater artists must survive and remain relevant in their chosen profession. Then how are theater artists living their lives in Lagos considered as center of excellence? We know that in center of excellence, a lot of artists, a good number of theater artists choose to base in Lagos State. So the daily lives and livelihood of theater artists in Lagos are characterized by certain elements. We look at ability, technological innovation.
Yes, our network is really unstable.
These abound. How do they overcome some of these challenges? Is what we look at. How they survive in an environment considered a center of excellence. So an average theater artist in Lagos, we discovered, undergoes several strategies in the pursuit of his or her daily lives and livelihood. The daily life struggles and interviews, therefore, will constitute the basis of the qualitative analysis of the study in the methodology. So what is our methodology here? The study relied on features, journals, reports, websites, interviews, to collect and analyze data. And the daily lives and livelihood of theater artists in Lagos under the following headlines. We look at creative process and rehearsals. Like, you know, theater is all about creativity and performance.
Hello.
And it involves a lot of rehearsals, which is very strenuous before they can come up with performances. So all these have really affected their daily lives in terms of what energy they have to put in their creative processes and rehearsals during their performance. Then there is an economic community engagement and performance. Theater also has relationship with the community because through the theater for development, which is a connection between artists and the communities where they are, where they live, and they use theater to really solve some of the problems in the society, in the community. But over time, you see that they are not able to accomplish this because of the challenges trying to get to the various in order to reach to the community. It's not possible. And supplementary occupations, just economic crisis. They don't have the resources to really carry out their creativity. They lack the fund to sponsor their creativity. They have a lot of things due to financial incapability. They're not able to achieve it.
Hello, Doc, can you hear us?
But there are several challenges.
Hello. Hello, please conclude, please. Hello.
Okay, can you
I've sent a message to her.
mute? Is there a way to mute her?
We can.
Please mute her. So we'll have time for the next one.
Several challenges, but they have continued support from among their fellow artists. They rely which they have not fully harnessed. So that's why.
Yes, I've done that. Okay, she doesn't know how to.
But that food is sounding. There's no way it's not going to sound there. This is a central microphone.
Okay. By the time she rounds off, she wants to connect. So obviously we tell her her time and the back. Miss Michael Iran, welcome on board. Yes, are you ready for your presentation? Can you hear me? Please unmute yourself. Michael, can you unmute?
Study inform policy. Hello.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. I'm on.
Hello.
Hello, please, we have to allow the next presenter, please.
No, please. Your time has elapsed, so we're giving the floor to Michael.
Hello, can you hear me? I said globalization and the audience engagement.
Michael, please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Hello. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Bassi. The talk of the session is Bamono Ekpe Cultural Review and Adoption, an antidote to cultism among Lagosians. The study, I will try as much as to be brief as possible. The study takes a look at cultism and how to use the traditional society, traditional institutions, traditional theater, the sacred ones, to stop cultism. And it is using Ekpe as a case study. The particular version it is looking out for is that of Bamono people. The Bamono people, it is a small ethnic group found in Abi local government area of Cross River State. Ekpe society is one of the most respected traditional cult and one of the most ancient in Africa. Some sources have it that it has been there since BC. In fact, some African scholars have even said that the Western education adopting today originated. Hello. Hello. We are currently practicing came from is the state where Ekpe originated from. The reason is because the act of writing, which we now write using pen to write, is like the hieroglyphics of the Egyptian pictography with what is called NCBD, which is the language of the Ekpe people. Now, Ekpe located in Cross River State, and it is also in Akwa Ibom State. It is found in some parts of Abia State, It is found in some part of Imo State. Outside Nigeria, we have Ekpe in the western part of Cameroon, Bisongabang to be precise. Then we have it in Maryland and in Cuba. It is agreed that Ekpe went to exist, like its existence in Cuba or Maryland is as a result of slave trade, that the Africans who were bought from here went to that side and got and recognized themselves as members of Ekpe, and it was established in that place. The reason Ekpe is chosen for this study is that since the coming of the colonial masters, since the white men stepped their foot on the soil of Africans, a whole lot of things have changed. Some cultural societies have gone into extinction. But why is Ekpe still remaining strong? Why is Ekpe, why has it not gone into extinction? That is why this study is looking at Ekpe society as a case study. Now, the issue is this. The relevant question anybody will want to ask is this: do we have cultism in Cross River State, in Imo State, in these places where Ekpe exists? Yes, but the cross of the matter is that Ekpe society is not being used, is not looking at this way, because the functions of Ekpe is that, number one, it serves as a governance institution. Before the establishment of the conventional security, the police, the army, the navy, air force in Nigeria, that Ekpe has long been there. It has been functioning as a governance institution, number one. Another thing is that it serves as a means of generating money for the communities that practice it. Even the non-members of Ekpe also enjoy the dividends of the existence of Ekpe society, in the sense that the money they get from the fines of a defaulter of bylaws in the community, the money they get from initiation, when they initiate new people, they make money from this. They use the money, part of it, maybe to drink, eat, or do their rituals. The other things, the other aspect is that they use the money to carry out developmental projects in the society. Then they also entertain. Indirectly, Ekpe has also employed a whole lot of people. In fact, the costume of Ekpe masquerade is very, very, very expensive. One costume of Ekpe masquerade is at expense. In fact, some persons have it's something children inherit from their fathers in places where Ekpe is being practiced. So people who are in Lagos State, cultism is also very, very prevalent. As a matter of fact, somebody has said that Lagos is the spine of thugs. It is where thugs live. That is why when somebody is wearing suit and is expected to speak in a very humble way, once it comes to making of trouble, he wants to fight, it changes to Yoruba and begins to speak the Yoruba slangs. And cultism is one of those things that exist in Lagos. So if only Ekpe Cultural Society can be reviewed, if it can be reviewed, some of those things that are inimical, of course, some persons have said it's a code that is used to suppress the non-members. So if only it can be reviewed, and then it looks towards how they can use Ekpe to stop this, because those who are initiated, the secret of Ekpe is never being reviewed. Well, if you like, become a bishop tomorrow, become a pastor, become an imam. Once initiated, the secret of Ekpe remains secret like that. So the issue is now, why can't they initiate people not to become members of any other conventional court? So if
can you round up?
So that is what the study takes a look at. That if that is done, if it is reviewed and it is adopted and it is being practiced even in Lagos State, courtism in Lagos State will come to the barest minimum, if not totally outdated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Michael Aaron. Okay, dear members of the floor, please, you have listened to the presentations. I got a message from one of the contributors that she won't be presenting. I don't know, so due to some personal reasons. So please, can we get some reactions, contributions? Yes. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll just take our numbering, make it easy for us to, organize it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5, 6. Okay. Now, talking about. Okay, that's 6. So please, number 1.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sunday Hakimwe from Obafemi University. I will start by commenting on the presentation of the last speaker who spoke on Michael Batty, are you there? Are you hearing?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I just want you I want you to be mindful in your paper with the choice of words that you're going to be using. Your topic is very sensitive. Autism is something that is very, very sensitive. Okay? I heard when you said that because talks, or I don't know how you said it. You need to be very careful. And you may be thinking that you're writing a paper and you have to be offended. You just have to be careful and see it beyond just a paper. You understand? See it as if you're communicating to audiences that you can see. You understand? So thank you very much. You did a very good job there. I don't know if you are asking of I didn't meet the whole of the presentation, but I noticed doing a social realist analysis of the text. I didn't know it's Nigerian. I won't be asking you questions because I didn't get the whole analysis. I'll give you some suggestions I feel it would be useful to you. If you're doing a social realist, I'm sorry. Hold on, calm down. Calm down. Mr. Reggie, please. Okay, so if you want to do a social realist analysis of the text, I discovered that you use Lagos as your center of discourse. Okay, Lagos like I'm a devotion, and I was not Lagos, and I am sure that you agree with me that Lagos has classes. We have classes of people in Lagos. We have the rich, we have the poor, and we have those who came to the middle class. Okay, so if you're doing your analysis, I want you to be precise which class per se are you addressing, or if you're addressing all the classes, you have to specify. And again, in your social realist analysis, I want you to try to speak through, attempt to speak through the lens of the author, because you are doing social realist analysis. If you are using a theory like the practical criticism, you don't have any business with the author. If you are using, let's say, liberal humanism, you don't have an issue with the author. Okay, but since you are using social realism, you have to understand the context of the author. So you wouldn't be saying things that would go the other way around. So thank you very much. That's what I want to talk about. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your presentation. Our expert society man, we appreciate your comic posture as well.
Take one place now.
Make we see your face now. Which have Can you hear us, please?
Come on, can you hear? Make way for yours. Make way.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I just have a question for you. And that question goes, in the course of your presentation, you asserted that the Umomo Ekpe Society was generated revenue through fines, okay?
Yes.
And
Yes.
membership subscription, initiation. Okay.
Yes.
And the question I have for you is this: was that society completely autonomous from the traditional political system, such that it was able to generate revenue on its own and determine how such revenue was spent? Do you understand the point? Was it that autonomous to the extent that it generated revenue on its own and it determined how that revenue was spent? Okay. So
yes.
That's one. Then two. Hello. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, you made mention of the fact that the Ekpe Society was highly instrumental as an indigenous security framework in curbing the phenomenon of cultism in some parts of your spatial scope, right? Now, as you said, you then concluded that if that can be replicated, if the Ekpe Society can be adopted, the model can be adopted in Lagos, it will reduce cultism in Lagos. Is that your assertion? Am I correct? Is that your assertion? If that is your assertion,
no, sir. No, sir.
So,
can
if
I
that
go
is your assertion, I ask, what is the empirical basis to substantiate the fact that the Ekpe Society actually reduced the rate of cultism in wherever you said it reduced? Thank you. Then for the madam.
Okay.
For the madam, I saw no man. Dr. Joyce.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Okay, not the question.
Okay, so
hello.
Now I have a question for you, madam.
Okay.
Now my question goes. Now you said something about Lagos, that the center, that the motor center of excellence, depicts or is an affirmation of the state of perfection in Lagos. You made that assertion, you made that submission, that the use of the creed, center of excellence, the use of the creed or the ascription of center of excellence to Lagos has to do with, is an affirmation of the state of perfection in Lagos. Now, I ask a question. My intervention is you need to recheck that position. Because for me, I would say that creed is an ambitious creed, an aspirational one. The Lagos we aspire to have, we envision. It is not that it depicts or it affirms perfection as regards socio-economic reality. No. So please, that's what I have to do.
No, don't answer yet. Let's take all the questions. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Omo, can you hear?
Mr. Bassett, can you hear me? Mr. Michael?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm on. Yes, I can hear you.
My name is Olaibola from the Department of
Good afternoon.
Start with, I have a question and a comment. And my question is, you claimed that Paumono Ekpe has been existing BC. And BC actually implies before the coming of Christ. Now the question is, how long is the etymology of Nigeria itself for Paumono Ekpe to have existed BC?
Because as far as I'm concerned, I think BC now should be close to 3,000 years, if I'm not mistaken. That's the question. And the comments actually centered on your assumptions. Scholarly, I believe we are meant to cite other persons instead of just stereotyping. Take for instance, we said somebody said Lagos is the spine of thoughts. Now, who is this somebody? Because it is automatically narrative if you can actually cite a scholar who has started so. So I would imply that I will implore you that you please cite scholars at every quotations in order not to shoot yourself in the leg. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, please pardon that. We are not saying, just trying to do that as well. Please, not to believe, not in literary sense.
Number 4. Now, I start with, sorry, Dr. Mr. Okay, Mr. Right. Yes, your title has, are you not a Nigerian one? You have 4 other essays. You mentioned that you wanted to look at.
No, I said the total number of essays there are 78.
Okay.
I selected
only
kind of a purposive stuff. No, 5.
5. But I heard you discussing essentially you are not in Nigeria. Without referring to other 5 essays.
If you remember, when I was talking about the methodology, I listed them in my slide.
You listed them?
Them.
Did you discuss them?
I discussed.
Okay.
They were outlined. If you look at the slide, it's because I was deeply into the analysis part. It was written on the slide.
It was in the discussion and analysis. I didn't you
mentioned those titles.
Now to Mr. Michael. Are you still there? Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned again as something that has been existing, was there with the slave. That BC, he has to play. But he said the slaves, the slaves had it during the slave trade, Cuba, other places. And I am wondering, how effective is that group that they could not do something about their slavery while they were slaves? I mean, personal thinking about it. And then you said they could be used for development of the society. And I am wondering, like somebody pointed out earlier, that do they exist on their own? I mean, away from existing structure of political power in a society? Are they supposed to be supporting the political power of this community where they exist? Or they are just, I mean, if they are on their own, then they are not different from the church in Lagos. And then I think that of methodology or theoretical work, because like it was pointed out earlier, I didn't see a breakdown in that pattern. It's just kind of advocacy for what should be every society. Maybe I'll just stop. And then I am quite curious because in scholarly research, when you want to dig into cult group, most of the time you are advised or you are even pressurized to become an initiate of what you are discussing. I guess I can ask you, are you a member of I said I can't ask.
Okay, number 6. Decorum, please. Decorum.
Oh, interesting session.
Okay, Casper, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. I enjoy myself so much. Of course, somehow I'm kind of disappointed somehow, but kind of topics are carried. The theme of this topic is a panel between Lagos and I'm not like getting that back of Lagos now. Is it into too many literary works about it? Someone like trying to see narratives of life experiences of Lagos, which were made the panel more so that's one. The second one is what start from last But unfortunately, he's a very hardworking student. My student just finished he's the one waiting for practice.
Oh, wait, that best degree.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So that's okay, right? So my take on what is discussed, that we try to look at maybe what it does for those who cross the stone case and how we can take them. I have an issue with that. I am trying to work around the issue of cultism, if we use that one. You can't talk about cultism as when the masqueraders says we are considered into the group. They pass through that session, process, which means they declared they are already prepared for the other initiation. Because since we are part of this, you can also fulfill the passing through the other work. So except that the way maybe we make it you don't work with have to be toned down the belief and just aspect of. So I think maybe there's a way we can look at it if we can do for something else to talk about, how masquerade can help us, like say the police and all. But the issue of cultism is so much a very big deal to explore again, and I want to also say, for me, the issue of this year, I don't think maybe he didn't know how to put it very well. The issue of this thing, this detective in our work, when about African traditional culture. Not someone said this. It seems that it is talking from someone that is not real. But for God's sake, we were already existing before Christ came. You understand? Before Christ came, we had our ancestors. We had those we believed in. Maybe because they did not put it down well. But the point that he could also say this based on this society, because we not talking about Nigeria, because I don't know about Nigeria, but they think it's his own village. They were before right here.
Who now gave them the 3,000 pieces? They control it themselves.
You mean they were too?
Oh, that Kashmir.
Yes, sir.
They are supposed to be a dating.
Yeah.
If it was there a dating. So if it's said before that has been long ago, that's fine. But it was exact.
No. I said they didn't know how to use the word. Yeah. They didn't put it down. That was the issue. I'm trying to say that even like what is there, we must have said before. Maybe because we did not know how to address it, that was why we had a totally, So that's my statement.
Okay, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Michael.
Sir.
Michael. We are not
I'm here.
Have a mentor here. Okay, that's a very good one. We appreciate it. So you can make your comments, but see, we are handing you over to Oga Kashmir to help you to work the title and the work. We understand this is a very good one. I mean, we love your energy, your presentation and everything. But you see, you must also learn the fact that when you want to research, you cannot be journalistic. You cannot be flippant. Okay? We are not saying you are. We just feel like there's some things you say that, very, even you are laughing the way you are saying it. And there's also a mannerism when you are doing this, you don't be laughing. So you take a comment, just briefly, then we'll go to Madam and we'll take for Ogani, right? Ogaraji. Oga Michael.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I go on?
Do you have any comments?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
All right. The first one of the somebody asked, saying if Ekpe society originated BC, how old is Nigeria itself? I think the best way to get the answer to this question is to say Istanbul was years before now known as Constantinople. And before it became Constantinople, it was known as Byzantium. So for the fact that if you are looking at the history of a people, I don't think we should be looking at the name of those people, because the name Nigeria came during the colonial era. Now, the people who own Ekpe society, who actually brought Ekpe society, may also be in existence. If not, in fact, it's not a matter of may, they have been in existence wherever they were, and then they kept on migrating until where they now find themselves in Nigeria. So it is not the name Nigeria that is the matter here. So wherever they have been, Ekpe has been part of them. Yes.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. But see, listen to what we are saying. It's about scholarship.
Okay.
If you have a source, if you have a source for this, okay, cite the source. According to Kashmir 2025. So that we can go our own Kashmir by block.
There are sources.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. But this one now, don't say there are sources. You see, if you have a source, cite the source. You know, because you see all this you are saying, we understand. But before you talk, we have been discussing it here. That there is idea of decoloniality.
Yeah.
That we cannot tie everything to before Christ or after Christ. Yeah. So we are agreeing with you. But our, you see, the way you are saying it, some people don't. We do. The story of Turkey you have given us a wonderful story. But there are sources and they are archaeological artifacts. Carbon datings. Okay? So that's what we are saying. We want you to be a fine scholar. Don't use their sources. No, tell us the source. I mean, look, go ahead, make your comments. We are not saying that you have done well. But we are handing you over to Mr. Caspio so that you can get better. Okay? I want to use you physically in the next lesson. We hope you are going to be present physically.
By God's grace, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We love you.
All right.
Dr. Joyce.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You have any comments to make, ma'am? Some questions, they ask you some questions, ma'am.
Yes, the question with regards to classifying Lagos as center of excellence, right?
Yes.
I know that there is no 100% perfection in anything. So looking at the state of Lagos before 1990 and that 1992, it was nothing to write home about in terms of economic vibrancy, technology, infrastructure. There used to be a lot of housing issues, housing problems in Lagos. Lagos was highly congested in traffic and all what. So it was.
But no, Mama, does that mean that now that has been resolved? Does that mean that we have some sources, some literature sources to back up the fact that it's much more better and is now an excellent place?
I am not saying that it has become an excellent place. I am saying, judging by what was prevailing in the 1990s, and now that the term has come to be a center of excellence, that so far it has not impacted in the lives of theater artists as the center, as the title it bears, that artists in Lagos are still struggling. Their lived realities is not better than what it was. It's just that as society improves technologically, they should as well improve along with technology. That's what we're not saying that it is 100% excellent. No, Lagos has not gotten to that stage.
Don't talk about your methodology and your theoretical framework.
The theoretical framework, sir, is on creative city, the Charles Lander's creative city theory, which argues that cities must harness creativity and cultural resources to drive economic development and urban transformation. So how has Lagos driven economic development in order to achieve excellence, in order to bring about economic and socio-economic development, business, socio-cultural and creative ingenuity. All of these things must be harnessed in order to make Lagos, in order to bring creativity, that is a development of transformation in Lagos State. Then the methodology aspect of it, we relied on qualitative research methodology using library sources. Hello?
That
qualitative research methodology, sir. Library sources, relevant literatures, journals, interviews to collect and analyze data on the daily lives and livelihood of theater artists in Lagos. We categorize it under creative process and rehearsals, where the practice of theater is all about rehearsals, which is very strenuous. That they go through a lot of rehearsals to package their products, and it's strenuous. So they also need community engagement. I know trying to relate with the community where their businesses thrive. They need such engagement to be able to provide solutions to the problems in the community. But challenges of accessibility to these communities are prevalent. Then we'll talk about economic realities and supplementary occupation, where some of them said that lack of funding has made it impossible for them to carry out their creativity, and they have opted to engage in supplementary occupation in order to earn a living. So the theater practice in Lagos has not paid them enough, because technology has taken over performances, where a lot of streaming go online, and people go to online to seek entertainment as against the traditional mode of entertainment.
Madam Joyce.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
This is your population. Can we talk about your population? These theater artists, are they experienced, new migrants to Lagos? What are the classes of this your population? And then we also want to know the nature. How did you pick them?
They're basically theater artists, theater practitioners in Lagos, those who practice their profession in Lagos. Some are Nollywood, some are involved in Nollywood, some are involved in dance, some are involved in what is it? Some are involved in the costume and all of it. So each person
population
from where? Hello, sir.
Their population. We're asking about their population and how you pick them. Your sample.
It is a purposive sampling, sir. We chose some practitioners, handful of practitioners who gave us their experience. We sampled some practitioners who have lived in Lagos over the time, and who told us their experiences in terms of how they have lived their lives in Lagos and the practice of their profession. So there are a handful of them we sampled, those in Nollywood, those in costuming, those in choreography. So just
This
like
boy is
that.
not available. Okay, man. Thank you, man. Raji,
Thank you,
thank you
sir.
so much, man.
Thank you, Dom.
Yes, actually, my own comment is on. I think the person that even asked that actually try to push the things into food and already actually he talked about the context and which I think I highlighted when I was discussing my paper from onset. But because it wasn't a good one.
Sorry, please. Also, the struggles of daily life that you've highlighted and we observe in most parts of it. I'm thinking that when you started, I was looking out for new challenges and we deemed to specific levels. I would have been new challenges. That would have been your intervention, your addition, your knowledge. I was looking out for that. Then, how do we make that's why it's simple best practices? I'm talking that by regulating your analysis with another person that giving us consistency to your argument. Messi very weak.
It's I can't accept that it is weak or it's not.
From my own
Your
perspective,
own perspective. Are you getting it down? When you are writing, or when you are doing a research, sometimes you are being advised to narrow your scope down depending on what you are writing on. If I'm writing a master's thesis down, I won't be expecting you to tell me to use 1-2 tests. If I'm writing a PhD thesis, if I like, I can use 4 tests. It's there for me to discuss.